In today's video, we're gonna wrap a Charger RT in gloss black. The film is from Vivid. I think it's like their Vivid Premium. And I'll kind of just take you through this video. It's gonna be like a time lapse, and I'll talk to you about the process, the mistakes that we're doing, some things that we're not sure of, and I'll show you the after results that look good, but you'll see some errors if you know where to look. So let's go ahead and get started.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. Yeah, I'll do the same thing for yours. Mirror that. So right now we're removing the protective cap. Most gloss films are gonna have this. In this case, Vivid's Ultra Gloss Black does have a protective cap. That's for shipping purposes and just to overall, you know, reserve the film's shiny look.
So I believe this was about our second hood that we've done. I'm kind of posting these out of order, so I think this is our second hood. So we're still like completely new to it at this point. And you can see as you kind of string along that like even when we're glassing it out, it never actually glasses it out. Like we try to lay it down, it doesn't lay down right, and we keep on lifting it up and putting it back down, and nothing really changes. So you'll see here we keep on snagging like, no, we're supposed to lay it down and it's supposed to be flatter and flatter, but it stays the same the entire time. And I think this is one of the first times where we use the off-wrap squeegees and gloves. Before this, we were using the supplies that it comes with those Vivid kits. So kind of like that little cheaper quality squeegee and cheaper quality cloth or whatever it's called that's on the squeegee itself. So that there was a very noticeable difference in terms of the glove and the feel of the squeegee. Now on this one at the end, you're gonna see that we still have a bunch of swirls in the paintwork. So maybe it was we weren't, because we also purchased a lube, but we did not use it at all on this surface. So maybe we were supposed to use a lot more lubrication to kind of make the squeegees glide over the film a bit easier. But anyway, it's our second time, so not a big deal. So here we have Angel cutting off some of the excess from the top of the hood. I'm going to go and just pat it on the door just in case we'd want to use it later. We didn't. And again now, so we're going to start laying it down. But even on my part, I'm like, man, I think it should be like straight or flatter or more glassed out, because this thing is like all kind of wrinkles already. So I kept on trying to do that while Angel started working with the glove on his other side. And over time, we got it down, but I was pretty stumped, like, because this was my first time actually helping, do an actual panel. When I said this is our second vehicle, Angel for the most part did the first hood on his own, and we helped out towards the end. But this is one where like I'm actually trying to help on one half of the vehicle. So this whole time here is like, this is my first time actually trying to work it on my own and trying to figure out like what's what. And don't get me wrong, we watch videos and such and get some training or some education through those videos, but you know, obviously it's much different when you are just watching a video versus when you're actually working on the vehicle. And as you'll see, as we're working, we're always doing those small little baby squeegee sweeps or swipes. That's one thing, if you watch the other 3 videos that we have, or the other 2 videos, is that like from what we see on the YouTube videos, where like once they lay it down, they're doing these long squeegees on the film. Like you can see here, like I'm doing some super baby little passes because I don't want to create any wrinkles. So that's one thing that we've worked on that we've got better at. So since this one, I think we've read like 4 other panels, a roof and some hoods. So we do definitely have more experience than this one for sure. But even now we can get better, because like it's so strange. Just like we're doing these small little tacks the entire time, and it's just kind of funny looking. And on this one as well, we keep on raising the material up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, trying to either like get it more glassed out, or like just trying to help with the wrinkles, because like the whole time we're like, man, that's a lot of wrinkles. Like we keep on running into some wrinkles or some bubbles or something. I think on this one, like as a whole, the hood that we're working on, we use a little bit too much heat because we kept on getting into some tight spots. Like, man, like there's no way for this to lay down or whatever. So we immediately go to heat. So again, it's one of those things where we're just learning, we're getting some reps in. But here it's like, yeah, let's just keep on heating everything up because that's like the only way it's actually laying down. Whereas again, all the videos that we watch, it's like, man, they're laying down like 60, 70, 80% of this film without there any heat. But you know, obviously it's going to depend on the vehicle or the panel that they're working on, right? And like how complex or how many lines or body lines or contours there are. But the whole time I was like, are we doing this correctly right now? Now, because Angel wrapped his scat pack, he already did the hood once, and he already removed that little vent there, so he already knew how to take it off and kind of remembered how he did it last time. But one thing he was questioning, or that we were questioning, is like, so we start from the center and work out, right? Because the first time that we worked on his hood, or the first vehicle that he wrapped his scat pack, we kind of just winged it, and along the way, as we were laying it down, we were starting from like the left side to the right, and instead of center outward. So on here, like, man, yeah, it just makes total sense to start from the center outward, right? Because then how do you work back in once the outsides are already laid? Like, how do you get to the inside? So we removed that vent and started working that. We kind of undercut it just a tad bit as far as the film. You'll see in the final result where we have just a little bit of paint being exposed. But again, not a big deal. Pricing. This is like a personal vehicle of ours, so it's not a big deal. And again, they're just heating everything up. I'm pretty sure I'm stretching too much, and we're just like little by little getting all those little wrinkles out, or trying to push it down without actually, you know, causing some wrinkles in the paintwork. And we are at the home stretch. This is literally the last part that we're working on, and even myself, since this was my first time working on the hood, and I was like, man, is this gonna work out? Like, how is this gonna lay down? So we're just heating it as at this point we're being mindful that, okay, maybe we don't need that much heat because like this is the last little part. And again, just stretching as he's working those wrinkles little by little, trying to, or not the wrinkles, but trying to lay it down flat. And it's like we're almost there. So next step is to cut the excess, and even on this one, he's kind of doing it like section by section instead of like one long line, which I get it because, you know, obviously if you keep on stopping, you're gonna create more edges, or it's just not gonna be as straight if you give one long cut. But this is literally like our second time cutting on actual hood, so he's taking his time and being very as meticulous as he can to make sure he's not cutting into the paintwork and making sure it's like as straight as it can be. But I think overall it turned out well, and he really got some experience on this point on the entire installation process. The last step here is to tuck the edges and then obviously clean up the shop because there's film everywhere. Now, one thing I don't think we did on this one was post heat, and I think on the first few panels that we worked on, and they're all personal vehicles again, so they're not customer vehicle, people aren't paying for this. I don't think we post heated on like the other panels that we worked on. So now, present day moving forward, we make sure to post heat everything just to make sure everything is just done correctly. And these are the final results. Now, from afar, like 10 feet away, 15 feet away, it looks fantastic. I mean, it looks like a very clean install. Now, if you look a little closely, or if you know what to look for, there are definitely some swirls in the film. Again, we didn't post heat, so maybe that would have helped. But also, we were using the off-brand squeegees. They were higher quality, but we didn't use any lubrication, so maybe that was a thing. And if you look right here, you'll see that there's a tiny bit of exposed purple paint. We cut just a tad too short there. But other than that, the edges look clean. I mean, there's no, nothing major that's like just sticking out. So I think, if this was a customer vehicle, I mean, I think they would be happy with it. But let me know in the comment section down below. I mean, would this be a good install for someone?
That's gonna wrap up this video. Let me know if you have any feedback or tips down in the comment section below. Thank you very much, and I'll talk to you on the next one.